How to lose weight while eating on the go, a restaurant guide. If you're a guy and you eat out most of your meals, especially in the week related to work or even family, I know what happens when you get home after a busy day of work with a bunch of kids. They're hungry and you probably don't have a plan around what you're going to eat. Eating on the go is one of the biggest obstacles to fat loss for driven guys in their 40s and 50s because they don't know what to do. There's no clear plan for the situation that they're actually in every day. And in this episode, we're going to walk you through a real client's week, a guy in software who travels a bunch, and how he's constantly eating out almost most of his meals, especially when he is on the go. I'm going to break down exactly what he does in these different situations in all sorts of different scenarios: airports, early morning travel, fast casual spots like Chipotle, Panera, Subway, drive-thrus like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, gas stations on long drives or even long road days, client dinners, work conferences, whether they're close to you or they are in another state, family dinners with your family, and kids. This is going to be a practical nutritional advice for men who want to improve their energy, their body composition, less lose the belly and not gain it every single time you go out, and for a long-term health plan that you can manage day in and day out. Stop and think about this. If every time you left and ate out somewhere and you gained even a quarter of a pound, how much weight would that end up putting on you at the end of the year if that was your lifestyle? If you've been trying to lose weight while keeping up with the daily demands of work, business, and all the things that are going on, this is going to hit really good for you. Now, if you stick to the end and check the show notes, I actually have an eating on the go guide that I built specifically for this. It's full of really useful tips, tricks, hacks that are really easy to read and understand. It's got a table of contents. Go to the page, open it up, and you'll see exactly what you should do in those situations to maintain the progress that you want for yourself. It's a very clear, it's a repeatable approach for making better decisions without having to overthink. Oh, I walk into this restaurant, I don't know what to eat. We don't need to worry about that. It's going to cover frameworks and how to manage this. I'm going to include what this client, Ryan, would default order, different strategies, and how he's able to maintain his health, his body weight, and not have to start over every single time he comes home. And you'll be able to download that guide. There's a link in the show notes for that. Most of you aren't destroying it at home. You're not overeating at home per se. You might be doing just fine. But if you have a very busy schedule, then that's where the challenges hit in today. And I'm walking you through Ryan's story. He's 44, married, 2 kids under 5. He sells software, which means he's on planes. He's in the car. He's driving to the one time we talked, he had a 3-hour one-way trip to go to Milwaukee. He's based out of Chicago. To go to Milwaukee to be able to then do the deal, sit down, have lunch, and then drive home. That's literally what his day was, a 45-minute lunch meeting. And that was it. And then a bunch of time on the road. Now he spends time in hotels, convention centers, and client weeks, dinners. These are just typical weeks that he does, or typical months. He's usually gone at least 1 to 4 times in a month on trips like this. Now let's also reach out about his day-to-day activities, how tired he is, to try and count macros and or even decide what dinner might be. When you're tired and you're on back to back calls, you're driving around long days or in and out of airports, and you have 20 to 40 minutes, what are you going to grab? Probably whatever's in front of you. You get off that airplane and you look around and see the first one or two spots. That's where you park your butt to go eat, or you go to Hudson News and grab whatever looks tasty. Now, by Friday, Ryan would have 4 or 5 of these meals, and unfortunately, it would throw him off track. He'd come back 2, 3 pounds heavier, bloated, and not feeling really excited about himself. And as we worked on his plan, then we're able to figure out what he should be doing. Now, this is episode 79, Driven for Health. I'm Coach Brian Piranha. I'm a seasoned veteran in this coaching space around health, fitness, nutrition, and I'm here to help you do this, figure it out, understand what's the best scenario for you to be successful. Who's Ryan and why does it matter? Before we get into the specifics, real life picture of him, Ryan wakes up early. He's got 2 kids that are 5 and under. He gets out the door sometimes even before his kids wake up. And he and his wife are tag teaming responsibilities. Right? He's not always the first one out the house, but sometimes he gets to stay home and play dad duty as well. Now, when he's actually going on a flight, then yeah, he's got to get up and move, and he'll be gone for 3, 4 days at a time. He loves his family. He's great at his job, and he likes to stay in shape. I mean, this guy's got some muscle on him, but he also had a belly. The Ryan started off at 250-ish, 240, 250 in that range, and now we have him down a steady 225, and he carries the weight well. The guy bench presses 300, no problem. I think the one time we talked about doing reps at 225. I mean, he has an extensive exercise background, and this dude just has a lot of strength. But you can't look like the Hulk if you have a gut and you're just bloated all the time. And what we did was what got him into that spot in the first place was the traveling, was the demands of the work schedule and the eating on the go. And this was important to make sure that he didn't want to look like this. He didn't want to identify this. That's one of the first pillars of my Culturize program is identity. He wanted to be a healthy, fit father that was there for his kids. All right, let's go over 5 rules we built for everything that is around him. And as we go, we're actually going to walk through a week, but here are the 5 rules that we put in place to make it simple, to make it easy. And they are, yes, they're foundational. They're concepts. These are the things you want to put in your head. Pause this as you go and write it down. Rule number 1, decide before you get there. Okay. The worst time to figure out what you're going to eat is when you're staring at a menu and your stomach's grumbling, you're hangry, stressed, time pressured. Humans don't make good decisions there. You'll be staring at the menu, and then the host or hostess is going to come up, the waiter or the waitress will come up and they will say, hey, we have these specials too. So even if you thought about eating a, in quotation, salad, whatever their special of the day sounds way better. And it's something that you don't normally have, but it's probably high calorie. Most restaurants are going to serve you easily 1,000 plus calories, even up to 1,500 calories. And you stack a Coors Light in there, then you're talking about some massive amount of calories. Rule number 2, read the menu in advance. So know where you're going to go, read it in advance, and pretty much every restaurant has a menu online. Or even going back to this, looking at, say, Apple Maps or Google Maps, you can actually look and see around what places are available in the location that you'll be in to do a little recon in a sense. Now, looking at your menu before. It takes 1 or 2 minutes, and you'll be able to pull it up and find 2 or 3 reasonable options that make sense for you. As soon as you decide in a place of calm, cool, you won't have an impromptu decision that you end up just making as in a rush. All right. I know people that make rush decisions and it's not what they actually wanted. They just panic ordered. That is a term now. They panic order and they end up eating something that they really actually didn't want. It was the last thing they saw on the menu before the waiter was said, "Okay, and I'll take your order." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, here. Just do this." Rule number 3, build your meal around protein. 4 to 6 ounces is a minimum amount. If you're eating out, you could even do 7 or 8. That'll help buffer protein at other meals because protein can be a little more scarce on the road unless you're specifically buying the obvious protein shakes or bars or beef jerky. Heck, I'll even have guys go to the grocery store and buy deli meat if we need to in a pinch. Protein first, veggies, and then whatever carbs or fats fit the situation. Now, I'll let you know, fats are going to show up. It's just part of the process. They cook in oil and butter because they want the food to taste good. And anything that comes in a package has a lot more fat than you would hope. Rule number 4 is drink a glass of water. That the big one that they give to you. Yeah, drink that before you eat anything. Why? It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to start feeling full. And once you know and understand that, you drink the water, you order, and then 10, 20 minutes later, the food shows up. Then you can start to bring down that level of hunger and fullness, and it actually works pretty well. It's a solid habit. Plus, on the road, hydrating yourself can be a challenge. It is an issue. Now, rule number 5, if hunger is not an emergency and the options in front of you and you generally are just bad and just can't wait, and we don't want you falling apart at meals, then we might need to find a way that you can just have a snack and be able to manage the calories in the day. So always have an emergency, just a little snacky on your person or in your bag in case you get into a situation in a lunch meeting, in stacked meetings of the day. Things like that will allow you to be able to have a strong day without going extra long without it, because that'll throw you off. Let's go into some typical days that you and Ryan definitely experiences. Monday morning at the airport. It's 6 a.m. Ryan's at the airport. He's smart. He's got TSA pre-check, so he's not waiting in the line, long security line. But because of the early morning and getting to the airport, thinking and rushing around, he didn't sleep that great. And he's already stacked with a full day, checking his phone, messaging, emailing, trying to keep things there, and he hasn't eaten yet. Okay. Now, sometimes that is a good strategy. If you're going to get to a place before noon, then you could just not eat and that'd be okay. But if you are going to end up landing and going straight to meetings, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to eat something beforehand. Old Ryan walks through the terminal, smells the cinnamon rolls at the Cinnabon bakery thing that's near his gate, and he's been doing pretty good lately, right? It's very easy for humans to justify their actions, especially when it smells so good. He grabs a large cinnamon roll and a big sugary latte, one of those drinks that has more calories than a meal. It's like a coffee milkshake. We got one of those. He boards a plane, and unfortunately, after he's eaten it, he's ultimately bloated, tired, and is ready for a nap that early in the morning because of the amount of calories that and sugar that has the carbs. Why? Because it's literally the cinnamon rolls are 500 calories or more. The sugary latte can be 300, 400, or 500 calories depending on how they are made. Now, the new Ryan, what he does the night before, he looks at different options in this terminal. He sees that there's a Starbucks, and he can get for me, I'm going to get a Americano with a splash of heavy cream, or same a dark coffee, dark roast coffee with a splash of heavy cream. I do like the heavy cream. It does make it just enjoyable. Yeah, there's calories in. It's gonna be about 50 calories in a tablespoon of heavy cream. I'm good with that. I'm fine. But it just makes it so much more enjoyable. And then he's got two options. Sometimes he'll bring a protein bar with him, or he'll grab a protein shake at Hudson's, or he will literally just eat before. And the fourth one is he'll pack a sandwich, a little sandy. There, he will have 5-6 ounces of protein on it, lower calorie slices of bread. He'll bring an apple and some carrot sticks, and that will actually hold him over until he'll be able to eat that around 8 or 9 when he's getting ready to land, so that he can jump out of the airplane and get to run it. He'll skip the bakery. He'll go straight to Starbucks. He'll get the egg bites if he does that routine, or a protein box. Sometimes he'll just get the egg white bites. Why? Because they're higher protein, lower calorie, and they will fill him up. He'll pass on the croissant, the cake pops, and then enjoy that meal. Now, he's also, again, got some protein bars just in case he needs to be more full or eat, he gets hungry or something, then he can manage that again. If we're strategic about it, he can eat something before he gets off the plane, so he's prepared and ready to eat. All right. This is important because planning and preparing, he's done it for the work, and that's something that you do too. You are well planned out for the meeting schedule and day, but you have no idea what you're going to eat. And there's the disconnect. So this is an airport strategy that works really well for him. And I also have it in the Eating on the Go guide. Tuesday, mid-morning, and the diner situation. All right, we're on to Tuesday. This one is worth spending some time on because it comes up more than other scenarios for guys that are out in the field all day. You're driving on the road and here's a place to eat. You can sit down. You got a minute to spare. All right, let's do it. It's Tuesday and he's got this gap. It's about 45 minutes from one client visit to the next client one, and he's driving around in between offices. He's in an unfamiliar area. He spots a diner. He pulls in and sits down. Hostess was so nice, sits him a real nice spot, and he's actually going to eat a real meal, not just protein supplements. Actually, I discourage protein supplements quite a bit as being something that is eaten on a regular basis. We want to make them supplemental, and we want to find real food as much as possible because that is what makes you full longer, and we want to be always in the practice of eating whole foods. All right, he's there, he's sitting down, and he gets that big giant laminated page. There's 50 items on it. Holy cow, it's a breakfast all day. There's a lunch, dinner section. There's special inserts tucked inside. There's a board on the wall that he walks past that has other daily specials. Eggs Benedicts, 3 ways. We've got short rib hash, stuffed French toast with powdered sugar, syrup in the photo. Shoot, I would go for that. I'd actually go for the pancakes. You give me a triple stacker of dinner plate pancake size, I'm all in. That's the thing that's going to get me. So with all the photos, with all the options that are in front of them, and they're designed to make you want everything. And even the way the waitress and waiter come up and ask you, they're going to prompt you to get a lot of the good stuff. They want your dining experience to be really good. The Reuben is a mountain of pastrami, dripping cheese, Thousand Island dressing, piled next to a heap of fries. Then there's a picture of a loaded burger that probably weighs a pound, right? It's the full pounder. And there's a chicken fried steak and again, the pancakes. Old Ryan would have totally fell for the Reuben. I would too. I love Reubens. That toasted rye bread and the Thousand Island dressing with the Swiss cheese and the sauerkraut. That's a good sandwich. And put it in the comments if you don't like that. So it's like, come on, this is delicious. And then he would have definitely had the fries and then even added a bag of chips to the order too, because they go really well with a sandwich, right? Like, why not? Now, it works paying. So he didn't have to worry about it. Now, what happens? He didn't have a meeting for another 2 hours. So he stacks a tall boy Coors Light in there too. He's a big fan of the Silver Bullet. I enjoyed the Silver Bullet too. And he just wanted a little chill, relax time. So he's got a couple hours before his next meeting. It's not really that big of a deal. Now, it's not an outrageous thought. He'd been on his feet since 6 a.m. The client visit went well, and he feels like a reward, right? He's moved the sale along in the process. The problem is what comes after the Reuben, fries, the chips, a beer in the middle of the day is a significant calorie load on top of the amount of sodium, alcohol, carbs, and his energy is going to plummet by 3 o'clock. He's going to be ready for a nap when he's trying to go into some of these other client meetings and calls that he has. And oh, yeah, let's not forget, at the end of the day, he's entertaining another client at a steakhouse. Nice fine dining experience, which means that in this situation, there's likely to be more alcohol. There's going to be a large ribeye steak, potato, butter, and some veggies maybe that are sitting inside some butter. Now, Ryan sits down in the exact same diner, the new Ryan. He looks at the same menu and he definitely feels that pull toward the Reuben, but because he's human, but he thinks about his day, he reassesses and he remembers that he's got that meeting in the evening and he knows that's going to be a large meal. So he navigates the menu. He ends up going to the egg section and he gets the all day breakfast. He orders a 3-egg omelet loaded with extra veggies. Yeah, that's a key tip. Can I have more vegetables than you give me? Peppers, onion, spinach, and a side of sliced tomatoes instead of toast and home fries. Yes, for the cheese on the side, so you can just sprinkle it on as shredded cheese, not chunks of cheese or slices. And he just drinks coffee. It's not as exciting as a Reuben, right? But he doesn't leave the diner feeling crashed out, as Levi would say, my oldest. He is clear, he's focused, he's satisfied, and has enough food in the tank. And then when he sits down at the steakhouse in the evening, he can be engaged. He's got a little more calories to spend at that meal, and it actually works really well. And he's not just eating 3,000 plus calories while he's sitting or driving in a car all day. Now, this is important to find this balance and this moderation, and that's a skill set that you can have, and you don't have to just like not eat all day because of the meal at night. You can just make a decision that works for you. Next up is Wednesday. It's fast casual rotation midweek. He's bouncing around between client meetings. No time to sit down this way. He's driving through Chipotle. There's Panera and Subway and that type of a spot, right? Let's go through some of these scenarios. At Chipotle, old Ryan walks in and gets the burrito loaded with rice, beans, queso, sour cream, guacamole, chips on the side with some salsa. Now, the tortilla alone is 250 calories. And by the time you have the chips, each chip, a tortilla chip, is about 10 to 15 calories per chip, depending on the size. And those bags are going to have more than 10 chips in them. So we can estimate those being an extra 200 or 300 calories as well. Between the wrap and the chips, you have 500 calories already, and you haven't eaten anything else. Right? When you add the queso and the sour cream, those are easily 150 to probably 200 calories. Because if you've seen how they serve up that sour cream, they scoop it up and they slop it off onto the burrito. And he's eaten basically twice as many calories as he needs there. New Ryan has two go-to orders. All right. If it's a lighter day and he just goes with a salad bowl, doubles the steak or doubles the chicken. He doubles the fajita peppers, light on the black beans because there's protein and fiber there. And he goes with the hot red salsa because I like it. And then I always add a little bit of the Chipotle Tabasco. That stuff is amazing. But he skips the chips, sour cream, and queso, and it holds them over for a couple hours. If it's a more active day and he actually worked out and he's moving, then he can do a regular bowl. He's going to do a split of a small serving of rice, beans, double chicken, double fajitas, the tomato pico, and salsa. All right. We're still going to pass on the queso and the chips. Those just multiply calories. Either way, he's going to get easily 50 or 60 grams of protein. There is a calculator on Chipotle.com that you can find and manipulate the calories and macros, or it's even in the app. And it'll help you understand what the impacts are of the food choices that you have. Now let's think about Panera. We go to Panera, it can be tricky because in general, it's been marketed to you as being healthy. Panera and healthy are linked because they've done a great job marketing it. Sure, they have salads and it's clean design, but there's words like whole grain or artesian, and that makes you think that it's healthy, but they ultimately serve lots of carbs and fats. That's Panera. If you zoom out and just look at it, yeah, lots of carbs, lots of fats. Old Ryan, you'd pick the pick two, half sandwich, and a creamy soup. Get the baguette on the side, a sweet tea, and a cookie because why not? I got a busy, hard day ahead, right? Again, we can justify all that. And it's the upsell right at the end. Would you like a cookie with that? And then well, sure. Or you should eat a cookie with that. and then, yeah, sure, I will. But that is going to be a heavy, heavy amount of food and calories. Now, new Ryan is going to order half a sandwich, half a salad, and instead of the soup, and dressing on the side so he can control how much of that goes in. He's skipping the bread. He'll grab the apple and go with unsweetened tea. All right. That's really important here. Subway feels like a safe choice. Again, it has been connected that Subway is healthy, the way they market and advertise it. But it can be done really wrong. And of course, it's a lot of processed food. Just going to throw that out there. But old Ryan grabs a foot long with the meatballs and the cheese. Unfortunately, the meatballs there aren't a lot of protein. They are a lot of fat. Even the steak is going to have a lot of fat in it. Chips, cookie, a sugary Coke to go with that. Why not? And it's just a sandwich made by the local sandwich artist. The reality is that the bread alone will have almost 300 calories in that meal. You add a bag of chips is 150 and the cookies over 100. So do simple math. 300, 100 with the cookie, that's 400, and chips, that's 550 calories just in straight up carbs. New Ryan is going to grab a foot long, but only eat 6 inches of the bread, eat all of the insides of a double chicken and as many tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers, onions that he can get on that 6-inch sub. He might even eat some of it with a fork. All right. That is how we do that. Next is the best way to then go into a road day. Thursday, gas stations and long road trips. If you're driving around a lot, you're driving from one office to another, or you have just literally one office is hours away, you're going to spend obviously a ton of time in the car and not move a lot. And this is gas station territory. Old Ryan grabs energy drinks. He grabs large bags of chips. Sure, he'll grab a Reese's or something else there as well. And the checkout there with the candy. And if he's daring enough, might something from the roller grill. All right. If he's desperate. Okay. He'll eat in the car. We get a huge energy spike. And then when that caffeine and sugar runs out, he'll come crashing down hard and wondering why he's feeling terrible. Wants to take a nap while he's driving. Right? It's hard to drive long hours if your blood sugar level's in the gutter. New Ryan, one simple rule. We're going to go for a protein first, then fruit second. Beef jerky or hard-boiled eggs, a Greek yogurt, ready to drink protein shake, small bag of nuts. Those are easily the first things that he should grab and try and keep it under 500 calories in total. Everything is packaged so he can actually read it and actually understand all of it. Now, he also will bring snacks in his car. I always suggest heavy vegetables, heavy protein, fruits, apples, oranges, bananas, carrots, cucumber, peppers, cherry tomatoes. Those you can almost endlessly snack on and it not cause a lot of damage or a lot of calories added to your day. Whereas I remember this one road trip, we went down as a family to Florida and I got my travel snack, which was Doritos. And we drive overnight because the kids could sleep for 8, 9, 10 hours and get pretty darn far. We would go from Ohio and I could make it all the way down to Florida. And the kids were generally quiet and reserved. They would start waking up when we hit Georgia, the Florida-Georgia line. And because I'd have to pee and I'm tired at that point. But I'd open up a bag of Doritos at midnight and I see, my hand's hitting the bottom of the bag by the time the sun comes up. Shoot, I've just eaten 1,500 calories overnight to stay awake. That's not a good strategy. After I realized that I did it one time, I stopped buying those. Okay, not a good thing. Next up is Friday night, the fine dining client, or maybe a date night with the lady. Most of the guys in Ryan's position are stuck in this. And I've even had tons of clients where fine dining isn't even exciting because they've gone so much. Right now, Ryan at a steakhouse with the right type of clientele, he's going tomahawk, he's going huge ribeye, porterhouse, those gigantic things. We got the bread basket within hand's reach. Again, we're getting a tall boy of Coors Light because that's his chosen beverage. And they're ordering sides family style as well. There's endless amounts of calories. He can easily walk out of there at 2,000 plus calories. And depending on how heavy the guy's drink, he might end up having 2 or 3 course as well. Sometimes that's the environment situations that Ryan is in. Important to know. And if that's your situation, you have to be careful. Now, new Ryan, he goes in with a loose plan. Protein, double vegetables, always a clear winner. A filet, sirloin, you can always joke around with guys like, yeah, I'm trying to keep my waistline slim, or I just really like fillets. I'm just gonna eat this thing here, and I'm saving some room for the beer, guys. I'm not having the giant potato with the with the butter and the bread basket. All right, that's going to be the biggest win. All right, and also you can always make fun of yourself. Something that makes it easy to kind of get things settled. We certainly don't want you to go in and order a chicken salad if everyone's ordering steak. Then the rest of his day, he's played and planned around what he needs to do or how it needs to work as well, so he can be successful. He can be very fully present at the dinner. He can entertain and engage with the clients, and he can make sure he stays on track. I always joke, but none of those guys are gonna be in your room at 3 a.m. in hotel holding your hair back if you're throwing up because you had too many of beer, alcohol, or hard drinks, or you ended up with too much, just literally too much. Lastly, is the conference in Vegas. This is industry standard. He goes multiple times a year. And in the time he's going there, he's there for 3 or 4 days. They're long days. They have a buffet in the morning. There's receptions. There's free drinks in the evening. There's a snack cart that walks around late nights. And then he's back at it and waking up at 6 or 7 in the morning to get back to it. Old Ryan gains 5 pounds coming from those environments because they're just inundated with food opportunities and works buying. And when you start off this way, it's actually fun and engaging. But when you have done it a couple times, it's actually, and you're trying to lose weight, it's frustrating. New Ryan goes in with a simple framework. He's always going to go right to the protein, eggs, Greek yogurt. Even if he has to eat on his own, he'll grab something from even the local convenience store or a gas station. If lunch is a buffet, he goes protein, vegetables only. Okay. He's saving calories to spare. He's not just going up for seconds or thirds. And in the evenings, he's going to go again with that protein double vegetable type option. If he's in a appetizer situation, he understands that appetizers are roughly about 50 calories per bite. That's a really easy way to assess. He'll have 1 or 2 drinks, cans, and then he's good. He makes it out alive. Family dinners, we got Ryan back at home. He's got his 2 kids and his wife. They're traveling, and there's Chinese. There's going out to the local restaurant there, the Applebee's or something. And again, old Ryan goes in and just ends up ordering just like the diner situation, whatever he can get his hands on or whatever sounds great. But new Ryan respects himself. He orders a protein double vegetables. He skips on the big entrees. He looks at the menu to notice how many calories are in these dishes, and he makes it out. Same thing at, say, Mexican. He's going for fajitas, and he's bringing half of it home. Or at an Italian place, he's looking for a grilled or baked protein, not loaded up with heavy amounts of pasta or cheese, and he's sparing himself from the mountains of bread that are there. And he's not lecturing his kids not to eat this or that or his wife or whatever. He just makes these decisions himself and leads. What's changed for Ryan? He's down, lost like 30 plus pounds because of this. He is consistent energy. His blood work has improved. He feels better than he has in probably since his kids were born. 5, 6 years. And this is important because he likes to win with business, with his family, and take care of himself because that's his identity. If anything that you do looks like what Ryan does, eating on the go, family life, travel, back to back to back to back to back commitments, I want you to hear you just need balance. You need general rules. Go back to the beginning with the 5 rules of thinking about where you're going to go in the day, have an idea what's available, look at calories on a menu, do basic math so that you don't end up always coming back with 2 or 3 more pounds in the situation. Now, as I mentioned, wrapping this up, I do have an eating on the go guide. You can grab that in the show notes and grab that. It's a free copy. Just drop your email and it'll get sent right over. I look forward to you looking through that. I've spent probably about 10 hours scouring the internet and my brain for all the tips, tricks, hacks. It's very easy to understand. It has table of contents for different places to go to, and you will be successful looking at that before you go into a restaurant and feel good about your choices. And lastly, if you are looking to get coached, I have a free Health Hot Seat coaching session on this podcast. All I need you to do, if you've been listening in, this is 79th episode already, and you would love to get some coaching feedback and some guidance on where you're at, what's going on, I'd love to help. All you got to do is email me at brian@brianparana.com, and then I can talk to you about the health hot seat. You'll tell me all your information. Then we'll show up live on a call and go over everything, giving you exact strategies, free blueprint for you to take it and run with it. So that is the health hot seat as well. That's it for this episode of Driven for Health. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you. And next time is episode 80. I'm interviewing a busy father of 4, self-employed, juggling all things while trying to keep himself fit. His name's Chris. We'll catch you in the next episode.